Hi guys and welcome to episode 4 of The Catalyst. We are at Ivory Manor Guest House in Pretoria and we're going to speak to one of the icons in the fitness industry in South Africa, WBFF Pro, Jaco de Bruyn.
And he's also very big in social media with over 850,000 followers on Instagram, 4 million likes on Facebook. And we are going to hear how did he build this big following and how does he make a profit out of his passion.
So let's go. Jaco, thank you for joining us. I know you've just come from overseas. I think you were in Australia, the UK,
Yes.
Germany. Where were you just now?
Thank you for having me. I've just done Germany, Holland, UK, Dubai and Australia in the last 4 weeks.
Luckily,
The
it's
last
close
four-
together.
Close
Yeah, so I
together.
did a little world tour. It was probably the most productive time away from home ever.
Yes.
Especially the Australia trip, which I prepped for, but was the last leg of my race. So there was a lot of pressure on me to, look my absolute best because this is my main sponsor, and I'd probably see them twice a year, and I wanted every time I see them just make sure that I look my absolute best.
Yeah, because you do travel a lot. I mean, you said you were
32 cities
30
last year.
32 cities last year.
Over 50 international flights.
Yeah.
So I've got the miles.
Right away from home. Well, welcome back to South Africa.
Thank you very
I've
much.
got a nice Bowman red wine for us. You say red
Wonderful,
wine, you
thank
also drink red wine.
Yes, I'm a big
It's
fan.
perhaps also one of the healthier drinks for someone
Yeah.
that's in fitness. You can actually have a glass of red wine now and then.
100%, and I've got that reputation in the industry, having wine. People don't understand it, and I'm a competitive athlete, so it just keeps you sane. It's part of our heritage as well, with Africans.
Definitely,
And,
yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's an
Gentlemen, enjoy.
antioxidant.
Jaco, well, thank you. Cheers, eh?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. Smells good.
Okay, but so take us back. I've recently seen a photo where you've done before and after, and it was, I think, 10 years ago. And there you didn't look like you were really heavy into gym. So what was that moment when you decided this is something you like, this is something you'd like to pursue?
So let me give you a bit of history of who I am. I travelled abroad for close to 3 years. That's where I met my wife in Scotland.
After school.
After school.
Yeah.
I always, in the back of my mind, I was a long distance runner my entire life. That's all I did. That's all my dad forced me to do because I'm a runner. I only did athletics and long distance running, and I was extremely good at it. I was unbeatable my entire high school career in long distance running. So my dad forced me to, because my dad's a runner, and he just wanted me to do that because he knows, he wanted me to follow in his footsteps.
It's in the genes.
It's in the genes, yeah. So I went overseas, fell a bit off the wagon, after school, drinking a lot, traveling. Met my wife, South African, in Scotland. Came back and I just knew that I need to get back into a sport or something because it's like I could just see my body changing and I hated it.
What drives you? Is it that competitiveness? You want to be the best in South Africa or the...
And now even more because I'm probably the only and the highest paid South African athlete that's ever done the sport that I've done. And I would love for somebody to follow my footsteps in this career, but I feel like it's so hard. There's a few athletes that compete overseas, but I think social media makes it more difficult now for people to actually build a profile unless your content is absolutely on point, consistent. Because now for me it's just getting content to keep my social medias alive. Because if my social media stats are going down, then my sponsors are going to start phoning me and tell me, listen, what's happening.
Maybe if you can elaborate on that point, the business side of it. So you're a brand ambassador for certain brands and you've also got your own brand.
Yes.
Just
So,
about how do you make the money?
I'm a fully endorsed South African international athlete through an American company called EHP Labs. Their head office is based in Sydney, Australia, but they distribute from America because they've got a massive social media presence and they cater for the whole world. So there's about 4 or 5 international athletes which are the face of the brands, and all of the athletes are in different genres. Like I would be in fitness, and the other would be in CrossFit, or so there's different athletes in the company that they endorse. Then I own my own clothing range, which is called Aesthetics Era, which is also purely based social media business. I've partnered up with Sergi Constance. Now, Sergi Constance is probably by far the most known international fitness icon in the world.
Even I know of him, so yeah.
So me and him is business partners in the clothing range.
So that's an online store. There's no walk-in
everything
store.
Is online. Yes, we've my biggest challenge so far is probably South Africa, because South Africans don't buy online. We are way behind when it comes to actually go onto the computer, buy something online and get it sent to you, where America and Australia, people don't even go to shops anymore. Everything is just bought online.
But your social media is huge. You've got over 850,000 on Instagram, followers on Instagram, over 4 million likes on your Facebook page.
Yes.
So that's quite, I don't think a lot of South Africans, I don't think a lot of South Africans, I don't even think Jacob Zuma's got that.
Well, it's got negative.
It's such a short time frame as well. Actually, you know, on Facebook you get this timeline of a year ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah, they give you that time, yes.
And in 2013, I made a post on my Facebook, and it actually showed today that I'm super excited. I've just reached 10,000 likes on my Facebook page.
It's amazing. So
and that's 2013, yeah.
Escalated from there.
It's crazy. Now at the moment, I get about 1,000 followers a day on Instagram. Literally between 800 to 1,000 followers in a day.
Sure.
And that's mostly international, like you said.
Mostly international, yes. I've got a business account now on Instagram, so I can exactly see my stats, which country I'm most popular, age, gender. Currently number 1 is USA. Mexico is number 2. And I've never been there. I've been to the USA, but I've never been to Mexico. But obviously I think the bodybuilding and fitness industry is quite huge there, yeah. And then UK and Germany and Holland and all those. It's all on the list.
But on the social media, do you make money from the social media, or is it more building your brand? Because I think a lot of people want to build their social media because they think they.
You will only start making money if your social media is powerful. Companies do pay a lot of money. You know, you'll see randomly I'll post packet of crisps, or these people approach you and they pay you for a post.
Per post, they will pay you actually.
So there's good money in there. And obviously, the bigger your following, the more money you would make because of your reach. Because I send these stats to the people. I tell them, listen, I get 2.5 million impressions a week just on my Instagram. 2.5 million people seeing my post worldwide. Nice. Not actually engaging on it or liking it, but they'll see it on a newsfeed or on their grid, or not 100% sure where, but
that's it counts. It counts.
I mean, and you've looked like you do now for the last, let's say, 7-8 years.
Yes.
How do you maintain that? I think eating is probably the most important part. I see on your Facebook you post a lot of how you prepare your food, and
yeah, it was a challenge for me.
How hard is that?
I think it was a challenge for me to realize that dieting is the key element to do what I do, and I had to make sure that it becomes my life. And it's hard because I'm married, I've got 2 boys, and so it works like this in my house. So I cook for my boys and my wife, and then after that I cook for myself. So, but I always like making food for them that I'm not allowed to eat. And then I make my own
so
food.
that must be hard. Or do you have like a cheat day? Do you schedule like a cheat day or a cheat meal?
Wine would be my cheat. No, yes, of course. You know, genetically, I'm also very blessed because I'm an ectomorph, and it's my entire life I've been a skinny guy, and it was hard for me to gain body fat. So, what happens now if I'm in season and I'm prepping all my meals and I eat? It took me 10 years to gain the muscle there, and you get people that gain the muscle that I've got like in 2-3 years because of their body type. But it's easier for me to stay lean. So now over 10 years I've built this frame, and it's much easier for me to maintain my body fat percentage because that's my body type. It's my genetics. That's why I'm trying to say that it's not easy for people that's got a different body type, because you might gain muscle much faster than I, but you lose body fat much slower. So you might be a bigger guy and you gain quicker, but it's going to be harder for you to
lose the fat,
to lose body fat.
But if you can give one fitness tip maybe to the average Joe like me, what would that be?
Just making sure that people always ask me, people come to me and say, listen, I can't lose body fat. And I only eat once or twice a day. And that's the reason. You are not going to lose body fat, because what happens is your body is like a machine. So it needs, like you put petrol in your car, it's not going to run or work or drive if there's no petrol in the car, and your system is exactly the same. So you eat one meal a day, your body knows from your pattern that, listen, you're only going to get a meal the next 2 or 3 or 4 hours. So what does your body do? Your body stores absolutely everything, because your body needs that energy to stay alive. So it stores the food that you've just ate, and then it turns into fat, and then you just gain body weight. By eating consistently, your body works consistently. Every 2 hours you have a meal, your body works, your metabolism goes high, it works the food, and then the next meal comes in. So the more you eat, the more you lose. And people always look at me like, what? But healthy food. Healthy food.
Yeah, that's the key. You can't like pizza slice every 2 hours.
So it needs to be consistent, and you'll see your body, you'll lose weight quick.
And also
without even go training, without training. Yeah.
But if you have and also a training tip, a lot of people believe you have to either do heavy weights or a lot of cardio. What's like the one tip?
Depends on what your goal is. Like if you want to gain muscle, you gotta train weights. There's no other way. If you want to lose body fat and that is your main aim, then cardiovascular exercises is all that you need to do.
Okay, so now we're going to get to the quickfire minute.
Yeah, so we can ask you a couple of questions. Yeah, just say the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh, goodness.
So, you don't have to be worried. We're going to be easy on you. Okay, leg day or chest day?
Chest.
Never skip leg.
But you never skip leg day, right?
Never skip leg. Leg day is a love-hate relationship.
Sugar or carbs?
Carbs.
Favorite country outside of South Africa?
Egypt.
Egypt. Oh, that's interesting.
Favorite place in South Africa?
Cape Town.
Who would you say was your biggest role model?
In the industry.
It doesn't matter.
I get asked this question a lot, and there's obviously a few people that stick out, and it would be different aspects of their success. But for me now, just traveling and seeing young kids that had the same passion as me, or have the same passion as me, doing so well in the sport, because it's something that I wish I started. I only started training for the first time in my life when I was 24. That's when I stepped into the gym, and now there's guys winning these shows that I've won. It's 21 years old, so they're very young, and that inspires me big time, because it's a very underrated sport, especially in South Africa, but it's huge internationally. So yeah, I think the younger generation is what inspires me.
So they actually inspire you. And that's very nice.
On a personal level, there's Flex Lewis, which is a very well-known bodybuilder, and I think there's nothing more disappointing than going to events and people that you idolize, and you meet them and they not the person that you want to be. They're rude, they're arrogant, and there's a lot of them. And he was one of the guys that I looked up to, and I went to him, and he was just very approachable, and asked me about my life, and that it wasn't just about him. And I'll remember that day for the rest of my life. So now when we see each other, we grew together in the same industry, status-wise. So it's nice to see these people and to know where you come from, and it keeps you grounded.
The journey with them.
Okay, so favorite superhero?
So I'll get the Superman. Probably Superman.
Your favorite protein, source of protein?
Red meat.
Red meat.
Photos or videos?
My favorite photo.
No, photos or videos.
Yeah.
Oh, photos or videos. Photos.
And are you a morning or a night person?
Night.
You gym in the evenings,
I
mostly?
do the ochtend, yeah. In the morning.
A favorite workout song?
Oh, goodness.
I have a tiger.
That's hard. That's a hard one. I like listening to dance music. Something that's got a beat to it.
But you train with your own music?
Sometimes, if I remember my headphones. But yeah, I do like training with music, yes.
Okay, what makes you angry?
Goodness, I aspire. Something that really stands out, I would say, is the passion in me that I know how the sport could grow in South Africa, and it's one of the reasons why I went overseas, because it just felt like it's not where it should be. It's just the mentality of people when it comes to thinking out of the box and just giving themselves the opportunity to grow and not have fear of doing something that you think might be a risk. That annoys me, because I'm not that person, and if I see potential, I would like to know that it's something that could work. And then dealt with a lot of people, and it's just like
They just settle for the lives they're in, and they don't want to take that risk or that jump.
that's something that's
And it's sad as well.
That's sad, yeah. I know there's always risk, especially when it comes to new things, but I've also learned from experience that everything that I promise you, everything that I wanted to achieve, till today, I've achieved.